So here we are with another double brackets, okay? And we're going to multiply these out the same way we did the previous ones. Now the difference between these and the ones we did in the last video is that the x terms here have bigger than one number in front of them, a coefficient. That's a coefficient of 3. This one has a coefficient of 2, okay? Now, again, we have, there's the 4 terms. We're going to multiply them together. There's 2 in that one, there's 2 in that one. We times them together, so we're going to do 4 multiplications, okay? So, first off, we pull this out, the first term, and we write 3x, and we put it there. That's going to multiply the second bracket, 2x plus 5. And then the second term, the negative 2 is going to go there, negative 2, and it's going to multiply the second bracket. So now we've done that, simply case of multiplying out the brackets. So first of all, you go 3x times 2x is 6x squared. Then the 3x times the plus 5 gives us plus 15x. Then we have the negative 2 times the 2x, okay, which gives us negative 4x. And then we have the negative 2 times the plus 5, which gives us a negative 10. So that's the 4 multiplications. There's the first one, the second one, the third one, and the fourth one. Now what we're going to do is we're going to simplify or collect like terms. And we do this by powers. So the first power we've got is the x squared, or the highest power. So there's only one of those, so it's going to go down there, 6x squared. Now the next one is x to the power 1, which we just write as x, and we have 2 of them, which are here. So we need to add them together. So plus 15x, take away 4x, gives us plus 11x. And then last thing is the constant, okay? Negative 10, there's only one of them, only one number. So that goes down there, negative 10. And that is the answer, or our expansion of these two brackets. Now, this expansion has created an expression with 3 terms, 6x squared, plus 11x, and negative 10. Now, this expression is called a quadratic expression, and it's called that because the highest term is a squared term, or a power 2 term. And quadratic comes from the Latin quadratus, meaning square. Now, for what we're going to do next, which is to reverse this process, so to go backwards, so from the expression to factorize back into the double brackets, we need to understand a bit more about this quadratic expression. So, first thing we need to do is understand that all quadratic expressions come from a general expression, okay? And that general expression is ax squared plus bx plus c, okay? And the rules are a, the coefficient of x squared, has to be not 0, and b and c can be any real number, okay? So they can be 0, and we can only have an x squared term on its own. So in this expression, we have a equals 6, b equals 11, and c equals negative 10. Don't forget the signs, okay? So positive 6 from the 6x squared, positive 11 from the plus 11x, and negative 10 from the constant. Okay, now the reason we need this is because, as I said, we're going to factorize backwards. We're going to go from 6x squared plus 11x, take away 10, to the brackets that's created them in the first place, which is called factorising. Now, to do that, we need to find 2 numbers first. 2 numbers which we're going to call m and n, okay? Such that m times n, so their product, equals a times c, okay? Now, a is 6, c is negative 10, so m and n, the 2 numbers we're thinking of, have to come, when you multiply them together, negative 60, okay? Next bit, if you add them together, so their sum has to come to b. And we know, as we've written up here, b is 11. So the key things we're looking for are 2 numbers that you've multiplied together give you negative 60, but if you add them together, give you 11. Okay, so the easiest way to do this is to go through the products, or the factor pairs of negative 60. So we can see straight away, we can ignore the sign for now. 1 and 60, okay? If you multiply together, it gives you a 60, but you're never going to be able to add them together to get 11. 2 and 30, no, that's never going to get to 11. 3 and 20, no, that's not going to get to 11. 4 and 15, haha, you say, hopefully. 4 and 15 can get to 11, depending on the signs. So we just got to put the signs in now so that we get 11 and negative 60, okay? And that is negative 15, no, sorry, positive 15 and negative 4, okay? Because if you multiply these two together, you get negative 60, but if you add them together, you get the positive 11, which is what we want. Okay, now the reason we've done that is because we need to use them to break up the x term. And this is why I'm going to write it up here so that it's next to the other one. So you can see how essentially we're working backwards. So we have started off with, if we're factorising, 6x squared plus 11x, take away 10. Okay, now we're going to use the positive 15 and negative 4 to expand or break this up into bits. So we're going to put 6x squared, we're going to place plus 15x, take away 4x, negative 10. So as you can see, this comes to exactly the same thing. But interestingly, if you look over here, you can see that that's that. And that's how we found out that we're going to use plus 15x negative 4x. The rest is pretty simple, okay? So if you've got 6x squared plus 15x, take away 4x, take away 10. The first thing we do is we factorise the first two terms, okay? So factorise them out, we get 3x, which leaves a 2x in there, because 3x times 2x is your 6x squared. And 15x divided by 3x will give you 5. Okay, so there's our first factor, 2x plus 5. Now, if 2x plus 5 is a factor of the first two, it's also a factor of the second two, the negative 4x, take away 10. So we can write that. We can stick 2x plus 5 here as well. So the last step, or the next step, I suppose, no, penultimate step, is what number do we have to multiply this by to get this? Okay, so to times positive 5 and get negative 10, we times it by negative 2. And we write the negative 2 in there. Because if we do that, negative 2 times 2x gives us the negative 4x, and negative 2 times plus 5 gives us the negative 10. Okay, final step then. We now have two terms in this expression. We have this one, the 3x brackets 2x plus 5, and this one, the negative 2 brackets 2x plus 5. What's common to them? Yep, brackets 2x plus 5. So, although you've probably only ever taken a letter or a number out, you can take anything out as long as it's common, and in this case, the bracket's common. So, we take the bracket out, 2x plus 5. And what's left? Well, what's left from the first term, okay, is this 3x here, and what's left from the second is this negative 2 here. So we write that there, 3x equal 2. And that is our answer. And that's how we factorise. Now, as you can see, that is that. Okay? So you can see how this column on the left, we go from the brackets to the quadratic expression, and on the right, we go from the quadratic expression and factorise it into the brackets. And that's how you factorise.